This is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is NASA just shut down a live stream after detecting something terrifying entering into our solar system. It's a very wordy title, but either way. Let's go check it out.
The U.S. Navy has finally acknowledged that videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real.
Okay.
The International Space Station is orbiting high above the Earth and conducting important research daily. However, rumors have recently surfaced about an unidentified flying object allegedly spotted near the station. Despite widespread curiosity and speculation from the public, NASA and other authorities have remained tight-lipped on the matter.
All right, so basically, I want to go ahead and interject really quickly. Generally, when something pops up on the NASA live feed, it is space trash. Guys, we have so much trash floating around our planet, it's actually disgusting. All right, think about all the failed missions, random space debris, let's say, parts of satellites, all types of craziness that actually surrounds us. That's generally what we see kind of encroaching on videos.
Join us as we explore the latest discovery from NASA concerning the UFO. UFO sightings around the International Space Station. On March 28, 2013, an intriguing incident unfolded during a spacewalk by NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy outside the International Space Station. As Cassidy ventured into the cosmic abyss, befittingly dressed in his astronaut suit, his trained eyes caught sight of an unfamiliar object gracefully floating nearby. This unexpected sighting immediately sparked intrigue and curiosity within the scientific community and among avid enthusiasts of unidentified flying objects. However, it is crucial to emphasize that Cassidy, a seasoned astronaut with extensive knowledge and experience, did not hastily attribute the object to extraterrestrial origins or classify it as an unidentified species.
Bro, what is that?
Upon noticing the enigmatic white object, Cassidy promptly reported his finding to the diligent ground control team, adhering to the rigorous protocols for such extraordinary circumstances. In response, Cassidy and his fellow astronaut companion, Tom Marshburn, were given a directive to continue their ongoing tasks without delaying their mission. Subsequently, during a press conference to shed light on this curious event, Cassidy willingly provided additional insights and clarification regarding the nature of the enigma he had encountered.
Okay.
Through his eloquence and expertise, he revealed that it was highly plausible to be nothing more than a stray piece of debris, possibly a transient light cover, or even a fragment of insulation that had inadvertently disengaged from the pristine exterior of the space station.
And generally, that's going to be what the actual, that's what it is. I mean, technically, it's unidentified until you can actually identify it. So by definition, it is in fact a UFO, right? But if it's something that's moving, that may be something a little different, guys, right?
The International Space Station. The International Space Station is popularly known as a huge spacecraft that orbits the Earth, and it is home to not only cosmonauts and astronauts, but a unique science laboratory built and operated by a consortium of nations. The space station features components configured in space by valiant astronauts traveling at a fantastic speed of 17,500 miles per hour and orbiting the Earth every 90 minutes at an altitude of 250 miles. The spaceship covers an area equivalent to a football field, including the end zones as measured from the edges of the solar arrays, and it weighs about 1 million pounds on Earth. The ISS is a collaborative effort involving multiple countries, including the United States, Russia, Japan, and Canada. Some modes link various parts of the station, as well as laboratories. Russian modules provided the basic systems to govern the station, and living quarters were provided for crew members with solar arrays that absorb solar energy and maintain the station's temperature. There are robotic arms that have been instrumental in the construction of the colossal structure. These arms also help astronauts maneuver when they step out for walks in space or perform experiments in the void of space. Docking ports function as the entryway for human visitors and spacecraft, while airlocks provide the access point. However, mysterious objects have been spotted docking with the ISS, resulting in these ports becoming the subject of suspicion and intrigue. Columbus Eye.
Guys, what's interesting about some of the experiments that actually happen on the station are super interesting and intriguing. I think probably one of the more recent ones that instantly caught my eye was like a cancer research, right? Like, so for example, generally cancer is treated by like bombarding the body with like all types of radiation, right? For example, and what if, and being that it's out of our atmosphere, it's just an absolute ridiculous amount of radiation. So like, what if you were to just put the human body into outer space? Does that have the ability, for the most part, to get rid of the cancer, right? I think that would probably make a whole lot of sense. It would probably destroy the human body, right? If the body is not shielded properly enough. But how do you specifically isolate the cancer in someone's body just to expose just that part to outer space? And so this cancer research is actually coming along pretty well, actually. But the main issue is that generally, without gravity, or microgravity, for example, I think that's what is the main issue was here. Microgravity causes cancer to just basically, it's like steroids to cancer, guys. It's just going to completely overtake every aspect of whatever remaining tissue was used during that the actual test itself. It's a super interesting thing, guys. I mean, what if you could put someone with cancer into outer space and just like locally target a specific thing to bombard their body with massive amounts of radiation? Could that in fact cure cancer? Could it? Well, we now know no, because of microgravity, unfortunately, right? But that was a super interesting test that was being done on the ISS a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago or so.
Another element that has caught people's attention is the cameras. With 4 high-definition cameras, popularly known as the Columbus Eye, enthusiasts can monitor the activities around the ISS from the comfort of their homes. In April 2014, the cameras were launched as part of the CR3 mission Favorite. Providing a stunning view of the Earth, the cameras have become a favorite of fans on the live streaming website of the University of Bonn. The 4 cameras are linked to the space station's computer through an Ethernet cable, transmitting their images back to Earth. Intriguingly, the cameras serve 2 functions. In addition to transmitting the footage of space back to Earth, the camera's durability is also tested in harsh cosmic conditions. That is, NASA can determine which cameras are most suitable for future missions by observing how the cameras handle the harsh environment. Nonetheless, there have been accusations that NASA turns off these cameras during live streaming to keep the public in oblivion. NASA is in a prime position as a space agency to spot some unusual objects in space.
Right.
But some people believe they only show us what they want. This controversy arose because of the sighting of the UFO, the Twins study. Among the various life sciences experiments conducted on the ISS, one that stands out is the Twins study.
All right, so what's interesting about this study, actually, they're twins. One of them went up and the other one stayed down momentarily. And one of them is older than the other. How does that happen? They're the same age. But I mean, obviously, just by like fractions of a second, but still, in fact, one of them has time traveled into the future by a couple of milliseconds. But that, I mean, generally that happens with speed and height and lack of gravity anyway, right?
This groundbreaking experiment compared the effects of spaceflight on identical twin astronauts, Scott and Mark Kelly. Scott spent 340 days on the ISS, while Mark remained on Earth, allowing scientists to analyze any changes in Scott's biology and physiology due to his time in space. The study revealed significant alterations in gene expression, immune function, bone density, and cognitive function, shedding light on the potential long-term effects of space travel on human health. These findings have far-reaching implications for the planning and execution of future long-duration space missions, providing valuable information for ensuring the well-being and safety of astronauts. One prominent experiment conducted on the ISS in the realm of physical sciences is the Spheres Project. This experiment involves small robotic satellites inside the ISS that maneuver and perform various tasks, showcasing the capabilities of autonomous systems in a microgravity environment. The insights gained from the Spheres Project are crucial for advancing autonomous spacecraft and robotic technologies, which are essential for future space exploration and potentially even terrestrial applications. The International Space Station has truly revolutionized our understanding of space, science, and our place in the universe. With its expansive range of research endeavors, it represents the pinnacle of human accomplishments and serves as a testament to international collaboration and scientific progress. The knowledge gained from the ISS will undoubtedly shape the future of space exploration, fueling our aspirations for further discoveries and pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. The Mantell incident.
All right, before we jump to the next chapter here. All right, so really quickly, I don't think our bodies are made for space travel. I mean, we can argue about this in the comments. I'm ready for it. I just don't think that the human body is meant for any prolonged space travel. And the time that people do spend in the ISS is not even a fraction of what's actually required, bro, right, to actually travel to another planet. Well, obviously, to get further enough away to get into the Goldilocks zone or the habitable zone of another solar system, for example, that's not probably a plausible thing for the human body to actually do. I've always been on the side, like the Spheres Project, for example, I've always been on the side of something autonomous doing it. And then being able to obviously self-replicate, but not referring to the Stargate replicators. We're not going to do that, right? But a machine that can self-replicate itself based off of whatever planet it encounters. It just finds materials that's needed, recreate itself, then move on to another planet while staying on that singular planet that it hit the first time and sending us back information. I think that's how we will most likely colonize the solar system. That would probably be the most intelligent way to do it without actually risking human life or just destroying our entire genes or the genes of the people that are actually on these spacecrafts. Because nothing in me says that we're ready for this. But all right.
Incident. On January 7th, 1948, a mysterious and unidentified flying object was pursued near Fort Knox, Kentucky. Named after Captain Thomas F. Mantell, an experienced pilot in the Kentucky Air National Guard who tragically lost his life during the pursuit. This became known as the Mantell UFO incident, which also involved its subsequent crash landing. The Mantell UFO incident, which occurred on January 7, 1948, near Fort Knox, Kentucky, remains a significant event in the history of unidentified flying objects. This incident, named after Captain Thomas F. Mantell, a respected pilot in the Kentucky Air National Guard who tragically lost his life during the pursuit, involved the chase and eventual crash landing of an unidentified flying object. At approximately 1:45 p.m., numerous individuals in Kentucky reported spotting a sizable circular entity hovering in the air. The object was described diversely. Some witnesses noted it possessed metallic features, while others likened its shape to a disc or saucer. Reports of the sighting began pouring in from concerned citizens of Kentucky around 1:45 p.m. on that fateful day. Witnesses described a large circular object that defied conventional explanation. Some witnesses claimed it had metallic features, while others likened its appearance to a disc or saucer. The sightings were reported to the Kentucky State Police and military officials, who promptly took action. One of the pilots dispatched for investigation was Captain Mantell, a seasoned aviator with prior combat experience during World War II. As news of the sightings reached the Kentucky State Police and military officials, immediate action was taken to investigate the bizarre phenomenon. Among the pilots sent to investigate was Captain Mantell, an experienced aviator who had bravely served during World War II. He ascended to around 22,500 feet in Mantell's pursuit while piloting an F-51 Mustang. He described the unidentified flying object as sizable and metallic in appearance. His radio transmissions conveyed his desire to move closer for improved observation. Captain Mantell bravely pursued the unidentified flying object in his F-51 Mustang, ascending to an impressive altitude of 22,500 feet. He provided detailed descriptions of the object, emphasizing its substantial size and metallic appearance. His radio transmissions depicted his eagerness to close the distance to understand the mysterious entity better. Tragically, Captain Mantell's pursuit led him to ascend to an altitude where insufficient oxygen posed a significant threat. Despite receiving instructions to stabilize his altitude, he continued his relentless pursuit. Regrettably, all contact with Captain Mantell was lost, and he met his untimely demise as his plane crashed in the aftermath. The Air Force carried out an official investigation after the incident. At first, there were various guesses about what had been seen. Some thought it might simply be a weather balloon, while others entertained more unusual ideas. As further investigations took place, it became possible that Mantell may have pursued a skyhook balloon owned by the U.S. Navy.
That's exactly what it was. It was a skyhook balloon. It was launched off of the USS AV-7. It was called Operation Churchy. And the Skyhook Museum was basically released in the in Project Blue Book, guys. Yeah, bro. This is an interesting thing, right? But a lot of this can just be explained. And a lot of the times when things were being done, like specifically when it comes to weather balloon sightings from like the early 1900s, guys, they didn't know what that was. It was a big shiny thing in the sky floating at about 100,000 feet. Right? Like there are some absolutely plausible like conversations that could be had about some of these incidents, right? But this one specifically was spoken about in Project Blue Book, guys. Right? And I just had to double check. I remember hearing something about the Mantell incident, and so just like quick research as we're watching this. Yeah, he basically passed out and crash landed, guys. He tried his hardest to find out what was going on, but imagine, he's trying to close the distance from 22,000 feet to 100,000 feet. There's no air up there, bro. And with no oxygen, he crash landed, guys. He passed out and crash landed. Whew. All right.
And utilized for study.
And this was classified for a very, very long time, bro.
In cosmic rays. There are ongoing debates and unanswered inquiries regarding the Mantell incident. There is speculation about potential extraterrestrial involvement, despite it being a controversial topic. A portion of individuals believe that the military's initial explanation was deceitful. However, others argue that Mantell might have been in pursuit of an ordinary object, but got disoriented or experienced hypoxia as well.
Yeah.
The Mantell UFO sighting is an early and unfortunate occurrence in sightings involving unidentified flying objects. Multiple post-incident inquiries have posited possible rationales for what transpired that day. Nonetheless, it continues to be a matter of dispute and conjecture within UFO folklore. NASA and UAP Task Force.
I mean, because that's like one of the first like gigantic incidents. Yeah, of course, people are going to be speaking about that forever, right? Specifically, if you were alive when that was happening, imagine, guys, there was no internet, there was no like cable TV. Information was not just being thrown out there to anyone at at their hands, basically, right? So a lot of things that people saw, they saw for the first time. What does a weather balloon look like? Does it look like a regular balloon that we see all the time? No, it looks like a metallic object sitting at about 100,000 feet in the sky. How do you explain that to someone in 1940? They're going to instantly say, that's a UFO, because technically for them, it is what? An unidentified flying object. It is that to them.
The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, established by NASA in 2021, plays a vital role in collecting extensive data on UAP sightings to discern their origin, whether from natural causes, human inventions, or something completely mysterious that defies current understanding. To carry out this mission effectively, the task force collaborates closely with other renowned agencies, such as the U.S. Department of Defense, and the Federal Aviation Administration. By combining their expertise and resources, they strive to comprehensively understand these enigmatic sightings and unravel the answers they seek. It is essential to clarify that the UAP Task Force does not specifically investigate the potential existence of extraterrestrial life or aliens. Rather, its primary focus is to examine the nature of these UAP sightings, determine whether they threaten people or aircraft, and uncover any underlying risks. To gather a wide range of perspectives and information, the task force has effectively sourced and analyzed data from multiple reliable sources, including military pilots, civilian aircraft, radar systems, and satellites. Despite these rigorous efforts, the task force has yet to arrive at any conclusive explanations regarding the true nature of these unidentified aerial phenomena. In a notable update from July 2022, the task force released a preliminary report presenting their findings after analyzing 144 UAP sightings. Within this comprehensive analysis, approximately 80% of the identified sightings could be reasonably explained as resulting from natural or man-made occurrences, such as weather balloons or drones. However, the remaining 20% of observations defy clear-cut explanation.
Yeah, this one right here was, I think it was called the Tic Tac, right? And yet, some of these, specifically the ones that the Navy pull, are weird, bro. And this is probably one of the ones that are just like, you know what? All right, there's something weird happening here, right? Why is it moving so fast? It has the ability to propel itself with no trails or anything that's actually generally indicative of propelling yourself at that actual speed. Nothing is here. How do we explain this? I don't know. I'm confused. And it's incredibly intriguing.
Thus leaving the possibility open for an entirely different and unexplained phenomenon. It is important to note that this preliminary report differs from the conclusion, as the task force has diligently continued its research and is preparing to release a more detailed and extensive report soon. Among the many UAP sightings examined by the task force, one widely recognized incident stands out: the infamous Tic Tac episode that unfolded in 2004 off the coast of California. In this captivating encounter, Navy pilots reported witnessing an object resembling a Tic Tac, exhibiting mind-boggling speed and executing maneuvers that defied the limitations of conventional aircraft. While the task force remains unable to identify this object's nature, their investigations have confidently ruled out the possibility of it being a familiar aircraft or manned drone. Additionally, the task force has devoted significant attention to analyzing other remarkable UAP sightings, including the widely discussed gimbal and Go Fast videos captured by Navy pilots in 2015. With their unwavering dedication and collective effort, the UAP task force endeavors to uncover the true nature behind these extraordinary aerial phenomena. Through rigorous analysis, collaboration with esteemed agencies, and the meticulous examination of noteworthy sightings, they hope to bring greater clarity and understanding to a subject that continues to captivate and challenge our current scientific knowledge. While their journey to unravel the mysteries of these unidentified aerial phenomena continues, the task force's work promises transformative insights into the unexplained and unknown aspects of our vast skies. In light of this discovery by NASA, are you aware of recent preceding discoveries about the impactful body? Mini-moon orbiting asteroid, Dinkinesh. NASA's Lucy spacecraft discovered a system of 2 asteroids that features a small 220-meter-wide satellite spinning around the asteroid Dinkinesh during its first flyby of the asteroid Dinkinesh. About 270 miles away, the spacecraft captured a picture of the asteroid and its mini-moon. Furthermore, in data and images beaming back to Earth, the spacecraft confirmed that Dinkinesh is barely 500 miles away. Merely 220 meters in size is the closely circling moon. An astronomer and Lucy project scientist at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, Keith Knoll, said in a news release that they knew this was going to be the smallest main belt asteroid ever seen up close, and being 2 in number makes it more exciting. Roughly 300 million miles, or 480 million kilometers from Earth, Dinkinesh and its newfound moon lie in the main asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. The principal investigator for Lucy from Southwest Research Institute, Han Levinson, said Dinkinesh lived up to its name because this discovery was marvelous. In the Amharic language of Ethiopia, Dinkinesh translates to, "You are marvelous." Tom Kennedy, guidance and navigation engineer at Lockheed Martin in Littleton, Colorado, also said it was an awesome series of images, as they indicated that the terminal tracking system worked as intended, despite the fact that the universe presented them with a more difficult target than they expected. The team will use this data to evaluate the spacecraft's behavior during the encounter and to prepare for the next close-up look in 2025 at an asteroid. As a blueprint for the bigger, more mysterious asteroids, NASA sent Lucy past Dinkinesh, out near Jupiter. The Trojans, a group of 8 asteroids, were the mission's main targets. Launched in 2021, the spacecraft will reach the first of these so-called Trojan asteroids in 2027 and explore them for a minimum of 6 years. Although the target list originally included 7 asteroids, it is now 11. According to Live Science, Trojan asteroids are suspected to be made of the same ancient material that constituted the outer solar system planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Studying them could reveal valuable clues about the formation of the solar system over 4 billion years ago. Existence of over 5,000 exoplanets beyond our solar system. The existence of a massive 5,500 planets beyond our solar system has been confirmed by a major celestial milestone. Only a handful of planets that revolved around our sun were known until recently, but the quest to explore the world always extended. A fresh batch of 6 planets outside our immediate solar family has been added by NASA to its exoplanet archive, pushing the total to over 5,500 after a 31-year journey of astronomical discoveries. Using multiple detection methods, the NASA Exoplanet Archive records discoveries that have been confirmed. 6 new exoplanets discovered. NASA Exoplanet Archive records discoveries that have been confirmed.
All right, so I think, okay, here's the thing. Don't shoot the messenger here. This is our greatest hope. Kepler 22b. Research it.
6 new exoplanets discovered by scientists are HD 36384b, TOI 198b, TOI 2095b, TOI 2095c, TOI 4860b, and MWC 758c. According to NASA scientists, in 1992, the first exoplanets were confirmed when twin planets Poltergeist and Phobator were detected orbiting the pulsar PSR B12, 5, 7, plus 12. In March 2022, scientists celebrated the discovery of 5,000 exoplanets. Moreover, scientists have used both space and ground-based instruments and observatories to detect and study exoplanets. Launched in 2018, NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite has identified thousands of exoplanet candidates and confirmed over 320 planets. In addition, the organization's flagship space telescopes, Spitzer, Hubble, and most recently, the James Webb Space Telescope,
The GOAT. That's the GOAT right here, guys. I'm telling you.
were used to discover and study exoplanets.
Obviously, I'm not giving any. Listen, don't take this the wrong way here. All right, there's no Hubble slander over here. But all right, James Webb is the best we've ever done, bro. I'm sorry, guys. All right, I know everyone is super, sentimental about the Hubble. I understand, but I'm not sure within the next 20, 30 years we're going to have anything better at all. 50 years than the James Webb, guys. All right.
The organization has also said that these exoplanets include small, rocky worlds like Earth and super-Earths, which are larger than our own. gas giants much larger than Jupiter and mini-Neptunes are also present. Some of these planets orbit 2 stars at once, and others stubbornly revolve around the collapsed remnants of dead stars. James Webb Space Telescope captures stunning view of supernova's expanding remains. The James Webb Space Telescope, popularly called JWST, captured an astral new image of a supernova, an exploded star. The remains of a star that exploded 36 years ago were captured by the observatory's near-infrared camera, commonly known as NIRCam, which shows the expanding astral debris in unprecedented resolution, disclosing brand new details about this sprouting supernova remnant. The study of one of the most renowned supernovae, SN 1987A, was begun by James Webb. NASA said SN 1987A is located 100 ENS 68,000 light-years away, and it has been a target of intense observations at wavelengths ranging from gamma rays to radio for about 40 years. The discovery shows complex details of the aftermath when big stars end their days, so astronomers are fascinated. Furthermore, the organization said the new observations by Webb provide a critical clue to their understanding of how a supernova develops to shape its remnant over time. The image reveals a central structure, like a keyhole. The center is packed with clumpy gas and dust ejected by the supernova explosion. The space agency said in a press release that the dust is so dense that even near-infrared light that Webb detects can't penetrate it, thereby shaping the dark hole in the keyhole. Surrounding the inner keyhole, a bright, equatorial ring forms a band around the waist that connects 2 faint arms of hourglass-shaped outer rings. Formed from material ejected tens of thousands of years before the supernova explosion, the equatorial ring contains bright hotspots that appear as the supernova's shockwave hits the ring. Despite the decades of study since the supernova's initial discovery, several mysteries prevail, especially surrounding the neutron star that should have been formed in the aftermath of the supernova explosion. NASA said in the press release that, similar to Spitzer, Webb will continue to observe the supernova over time. Its NIR spec, which stands for Near-Infrared Spectrograph, and MIRI, which stands for Mid-Infrared Instrument, will offer astronomers the ability to capture new, high-fidelity infrared data over time and gain new insights into the newly identified crescent structures. Webb will also continue collaborating with Hubble, Chandra, and other observatories to provide new insights into the past and future of the legendary supernova.
Guys, technology has moved in a way that is absolutely phenomenal. But did you know, like, if we would just stop building cities, right? Like, if we could stop building cities, we wouldn't have to spend billions upon billions of dollars through all these space agencies, right? Just to launch telescopes into the sky. We have basically polluted the entire planet with light. Unless you want to specifically go to countries like hermit kingdoms like, Eritrea or North Korea to build observatories, guys. All we have left is basically just to spend billions upon billions of dollars. That's it.
NASA's Curiosity rover, Mars's watery past. NASA's Curiosity rover, which has been exploring the Martian surface, has revealed evidence that lakes used to exist in an unexpected region of Mars, indicating the presence of vast quantities of water where scientists initially assumed there would be none. The discovery of rippling rock patterns was announced by the U.S. Space Agency. According to a NASA release, the team behind Curiosity was taken aback when they found the most persuasive evidence of ancient lake waves yet for the expedition. Giving the granite rippling textures over time, a tiny lake's surface waves mixed up material at the bottom of the lake billions of years ago. Curiosity's project scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, Ashwin Vasavada, said it is the best evidence of water and waves that they have seen in the entire mission. The team lead further claimed that they climbed through thousands of feet of lake deposits and never saw this sort of evidence, but eventually found it in a place they expected to be dry. In quest of the aquatic past of the Red Planet, the Curiosity rover has been cruising the foothills of Mount Sharp, a 3-mile-high mountain that was originally covered in streams and lakes. According to the space agency, Mount Sharp consists of layers, with the youngest at the top and the oldest at the bottom. As the rover ascends, it progresses along a Martian timeline, allowing scientists to study how the Red Planet evolved from a planet that was similar to Earth in its ancient past, with a warmer climate and abundant water, to the freezing desert it is today.
I think Mars may be our future, guys.
Hubble telescope
But far, far, far future.
reveals huge star's explosion in blow-by-blow detail. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope was reported to have captured 3 separate images spanning 8 days, starting merely hours after the detonation. It is a noteworthy achievement considering the duration and distance it covers. About 11.5 billion years ago, a distant star estimated to be 530 times larger than the Sun died in a cataclysmic explosion that blew its outer layers of gas into the surrounding cosmos, a supernova documented by astronomers in blow-by-blow detail. According to astronomer Wenlei Chen, a University of Minnesota postdoctoral researcher and lead author of the study published in the journal Nature, the images were discovered in a review of Hubble observation archival data from 2010. They offered the first glimpse of a supernova cooling rapidly after the initial explosion in a single set of images, and the first in-depth look at a supernova so early in the cosmos's history, when it was less than a fifth of its current age. Patrick Kelly, a University of Minnesota astronomy professor and study co-author, added that the supernova is expanding and cooling, so its color evolves from a hot blue to a cool red. The doomed star, known as a red supergiant, resided in a dwarf galaxy and exploded at the end of its relatively brief lifespan. Chen said that red supergiants are luminous, massive, and large stars that occur at 180,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But they are much cooler than most of the other massive stars, and that is why they are red. After a red supergiant exhausts the fusion energy in its core, a collapse will occur, and the supernova explosion will then blast away the star's outer layers, its hydrogen envelope. About 6 hours after the initial blast, the first image shows the explosion as starting relatively small and fiercely hot.
Guys, the fact that they caught an image of this, like, while it was happening, that'll never happen again. I'm almost positive. Like, we'll never get another image of us being in the right place at the right time. Keep this in mind here. And also, be fully aware, the image that was being taken it probably happened a couple of million years ago, but luckily we caught the the remnant of it, basically.
About 180,000 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 days later, the second image was captured, and 6 days after that, the third image was also generated. In these 2 images, the gaseous material ejected from the star is seen expanding outward. The explosion in the second image is only a fifth as hot as in the first one, while in the third image, the explosion is only a tenth as hot as the first. Chen said the remnant of the exploded star probably became an incredibly dense object called a neutron star. Strong gravitational lensing is a phenomenon that accounts for how Hubble was able to obtain 3 images at different points in time after the explosion. Serving as a lens, the tremendous gravitational power exerted by a galaxy cluster located in front of the exploding star, from the perspective of Earth, bent and magnified the light emanating from the supernova. Not only does the gravity in the galaxy cluster bend the light from behind it, but it also delays the light travel time, because the stronger the gravity, the slower a clock moves. In other words, the emission of light from a single source behind the lens can go through multiple paths toward them, and they then see multiple images of the source supernova. Kelly called the ability to see the rapidly cooling supernova in a single set of images absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It is kind of like seeing a film reel in the color of the supernova evolving, and it is a much more detailed picture of any known supernova that existed when the universe was a small fraction of its current age. The only other examples where they have caught a supernova very early are very nearby explosions. He concluded that when astronomers see more distant objects, they are looking back in time.
Absolutely.
Are you a space enthusiast who wants to protect your phone while flaunting your knowledge?
And guys, and that's kind of why I literally just said, if you think the supernova just exploded, you're crazy. It probably happened a couple million years ago. So I googled it really quickly. They're speculating that it actually happened in 1670. Apparently, it happened on October 9th, 1604. Apologies, and we're just photographing it now, right? Because that's how long it takes for light to basically travel, right? And exactly what he said here at the end, based off of gravity. The stronger the gravity, basically, the harder light it's going to take to actually get to our point, basically. Meaning 1604. We're watching something that happened in 1604 now. All right. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.